So you're at 28 years old and you're learning about this like access to money. Mm-hmm. And now obviously one of my red flags goes up, okay, credit cards, but one thing I know about you is 0% access to money, which if that sounds too good to be true, like you've built a whole business, a very successful business around teaching people about that. And so like what were you doing when you found out about that? And then like, what was the process of you learning that? And then yes, then I want you to just go right into the masterclass, which you've already started. But like, I want people like to be taking notes to be like, okay, even if they didn't work with you personally, what are the steps on how I can take this information and start applying it? But then what are the mistakes that people make as well? Because like what we're not saying is go get any type of credit card and go do stuff like, at least that's not what I'm saying. And you got to be careful and like with a lot of this information, incredible, but also like there could be some downsides to it as well.
For sure. And I'm glad you mentioned that because there is risks involved with borrowing money, specifically on credit cards.
Yeah.
So the specific credit cards I'm talking about with these business credit cards are 0% for 12 to 18 months. Most are 12 months. And so for a lot of business owners that I work with, they usually have an opportunity in front of them where they know if I had 50 or 100,000 and I put that money from this business credit card into this business opportunity or investment, that I can most likely make X amount return. Mm-hmm. And if there's a clear line where you use that money, it creates a profit, and then you can pay off the card before the 12 months is over, then it makes sense. But for people to get capital like this and not spend it wisely, not put it into a business or an investment, it can be not a good situation. So it's generally for people who have a clear idea on how to invest the money. A lot of people that I work with that do really good, like brand new people in business that do really good, this specific niche is people in Airbnb arbitrage. Okay. It's a very easy business model to get started on where you go rent a house, you can use business credit, and then you buy some furniture and then you rent it on Airbnb. And it's just very easy for newer people in business to start that business model. And there's a very clear line of returning the money back to the card. So for me, when I was getting the credit, this was in before COVID, I was already doing e-commerce. I've sold hoverboards on Shopify. I've sold inflatable loungers on Shopify. And now I wanted to get into drop shipping. And so I knew that if I had more money to work with, I was going to make so much more money. And I knew that specifically because when I was selling the stuff on Shopify, that was my biggest limit, was access to capital.
So that was the biggest constraint.
It was the biggest constraint by far. We were doing really good, but we would buy the inventory from China, we'd boat it over, we'd sell it, we'd send the money over, wait for more inventory, and it was a very slow process. And I just knew if we had more money, we would have made so much more money. And so that was a really eye-opening experience to just be limited like that, and then learning about this credit product where I now know how to get access to hundreds of thousands of dollars where I'm really not paying interest. And then there's also the business credit product, business lines of credit, which you can get at 10%. Which used to be less than 10%. Well, for most people, you can make a good return even if you're borrowing money at 9 or 10%.
That's amazing.